and we think we found human remains. I didn't think anything could top that, but I think this will. What? Dude! What? Dude! You know the roof's gonna fall down.
Fuck, give me this.
What?
What? Don't touch that. This is now a crime scene.
No, ring the police, right? And that's it. No fun and games anymore. Right, let's just get downstairs calmly, ring the police, and then that's that. They're going to turn it into a crime scene and everything, honestly. The whole place is going to be cordoned off. Guys, we just potentially solved a murder case. Let me turn the lights on. We potentially just solved a murder case. You do realise that, don't you?
I know, and I should be excited about it, but I'm sitting here just like...
Here to the left.
Urban exploration, or urbexing, is the act of exploring man-made structures, often abandoned or restricted locations, with a focus on photography, historical interest, and documenting the spaces. Although a captivating hobby, the act carries significant physical hazards, like unstable structures, asbestos, and sharp objects, along with legal and safety issues like trespassing and the potential to get lost. Furthermore, these abandoned areas may also attract criminal activity, which many urban explorers have encountered before. A notable example is the YouTube channel Ghost Theory, who are conducting a ghost investigation at the Lancaster Moor Ridgeley Asylum in northwest England, where they encountered something far more terrifying than spirit activity.
Shall we go down?
Yeah.
Can I go down and work our way up?
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you die,
well,
I'm going home.
You're also that's not a good idea.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, the lift shaft. Look at that, just completely open. Oh.
There's a horrible smell.
Mm.
Shit, Jack. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, listen.
That's people. Good.
Upon hearing whispers and the sound of movement, both Joe and Elliot come to the realisation that they are not alone within the building. Although encountering other explorers is not unusual, on this occasion both individuals sense that something is wrong and choose to move to the upstairs of the building.
Hey, get back up. Yeah. Go. Through there. Where? Go. Where is it? People are paranormal. Hmm? People are paranormal. What the f*** are the chances of that?
Unbelievable.
Hmm?
Unbelievable.
What?
Unbelievable. That's ridiculous.
That was really weird though. But they're just throwing stuff around. Are they? They're like throwing things into the building and shit. Are they out there? No. I can't see them, I can hear them.
Despite Joe and Elliot's initial belief that the individuals might have left, they continued to hear sounds, prompting them to move to the opposite end of the building to check if they can spot them through the windows.
Look, they're up there. Are they? What the fuck? Did you catch them? They're in army gear. There's two of them. Hang on. Hang on. Have they got weapons? Yeah. They've all got guns and shit. Are they coloured guns? Hey? Are they coloured guns? No. They're proper like black. They're proper rifles. Like they're stood like this. They're like this long. They're air rifles. You're f***ing kidding. Like the proper pellet rifles. They're they're rifles. Like a sniper. He's got a full helmet on and everything. That's illegal. But there's two of them sat down there where the entrance is. That's illegal though.
While air rifles can be legally owned in the UK under specific restrictions, it is prohibited to carry them in public without a legitimate reason. Given that abandoned hospitals are typically owned by local authorities, NHS trusts, or private developers, accessing this private property with an air rifle may be deemed an offence, such as armed trespass, as specified in Section 20 of the Firearms Act 1968.
What do we do now? If they got fucking rifles, that's gonna hurt. Yeah. And it's illegal. Highly illegal. They're in full fucking army gear. And they're waiting for it to get dark.
Following discussions on how to address the situation, both Joe and Elliot decide that the safest option is to make themselves known to the individuals before the individuals manage to find them.
Where are we going? We've got to confront them from a high place. So from up here? Yeah. Go back to that window. What's they got? Where the f*** are they gone? No idea.
With the individuals no longer present in the location where they were last observed, Joe and Elliot are uncertain if they have vacated the premises entirely or if they have just relocated to another section of the building. Nevertheless, after dedicating a significant amount of time to searching the vicinity, they are convinced that the intruders have departed and choose to proceed with their ghost hunt.
What an interesting evening this has been so far. We've had a big look around. Like we just walked around the entire place, up, down, everything. They're not here.
What was that?
Well, they couldn't have got past us.
No, listen, no.
Hello?
What was that? Is that a voice?
A fucking angle grinder.
Shortly after resuming their ghost hunt, sounds of movement and the use of power tools can be heard emanating from the upper levels of the building, and as they remain silent and attentive, these sounds begin to become more apparent.
Sounds like someone cutting a tree down outside.
This is some shit. What the f are they doing?
That's very fucking loud. I don't know what the f to do. I do not know what the f to do.
Is that outside?
What?
Is that outside? Shit.
This. Fuck this. Fuck this.
What the fucking hell is that?
Although discussions are made to leave the building, Joe decides to climb the first flight of stairs as they both make their way closer to the noises.
There's people up there. Leave. Quick.
Martin,
What?
you finished with the ladder?
Yeah, can I use that long for a minute?
Yeah, a minute.
noise.
After documenting as much information as possible, both Joe and Elliot proceed towards the exterior of the building, where they leave the premises and return safely to their vehicle. In this case, due to the high value of copper and the property's vulnerabilities, it seems likely that the intruders were targeting wiring, piping, and other fixtures. Unfortunately, encountering such activities in abandoned buildings is not unusual. However, it is rare to find what urban explorer James Fenton encountered while investigating a deserted warehouse in Glenrothes, Scotland.
Me and my wee brother was just having a look, messing about, and then in the corner of my eye I seen just like, it was just white, dull, kind of bony type material. So I went over, not thinking anything of it, because it was the last thing I thought I would actually discover. I kicked one of the boxes off the top of the body, and that's when I seen like the skull, the rib cage, and the foot coming up the side of the wall. And at first I just couldn't get myself around believing what it actually was, until I seen like mummified skin on the back of the neck and then on the back of the foot. It's just a crazy day. Crazy day.
The remains were found in Unit 99 at the Whitehall Industrial Estate, where traces of crime scene tape are still present at the location. The police initially attempted to identify the remains through DNA analysis, but this effort was unsuccessful. When it comes to extracting DNA from skeletal remains, the most dependable skeletal elements for extraction are the petrous portion of the temporal bone and the teeth, owing to their high DNA concentration and durability against degradation. Although DNA extraction on skeletal remains is a destructive process, the level of destruction necessary is determined by the condition of the skeletal material, with Angie Ambers detailing the methods used to extract DNA from a 120-year-old skeleton.
We take a look at what skeletal elements we have available for testing, kind of decide which bones would be most appropriate or might give us the best chance of recovering DNA. And then we literally have to, it's a destructive technique, we actually have to saw the bones into small sections, and then we put these sections in sterile vials and submerge them in liquid nitrogen, and with that liquid nitrogen we grind the bone into a fine powder. It almost comes out to be similar to like a baby powder format, and that's how we extract the DNA from the samples. And that processing takes quite a bit of time, as well as all of the contamination prevention techniques and procedures that you have to go through to prep all of your materials just to work with those bones.
Due to the failure of DNA analysis to identify the remains, alternative methods may be employed, such as comparing dental records. However, this approach also yielded no success in identifying the body found at the warehouse. Subsequently, forensic anthropology can be utilised to refine the search by developing a biological profile that encompasses estimations of sex, age, ancestry and stature. While time constraints prevent us from discussing this in detail, we will briefly outline how sex estimations are determined, which is based on the analysis of morphological traits that differ between males and females.
So I'm actually going to start with the male skull here. And the first feature we're going to talk about is the superciliary arch. Remember, that's the brow ridges. So in males, they're going to have very large, very projecting brow ridges. So if you see from the side angle here, we've got that projection. Whereas on our female, we really don't have much of those superciliary arches.
Also referred to as the supraorbital ridge, this feature serves as a useful indicator for distinguishing males and females, as it is regarded as a characteristic influenced by testosterone. Nevertheless, it is essential to evaluate all traits for a more accurate assessment.
Moving to the back of the skull, we've got the nuchal lines that we're going to see much more prevalently in males, along with that center protrusion, that external occipital protuberance. So here on the back, you should be able to see those nuchal lines. And again, this is something that's much easier to feel than to see. So if I run my finger across here, I feel a lot of thickenings for those muscle attachments. Whereas when I look at my female here, it's much more slight. She doesn't have nearly the muscle attachments on the back of her skull and the occipital as the male does. So the male's going to have that protruding occipital, external occipital protuberance and nuchal lines, whereas the female is not.
In addition to these two characteristics, other morphological features of the cranium used to estimate sex include the mastoid process, supraorbital margins, and the mandible. However, it is crucial to initially estimate ancestry, as this may influence sex estimations, given that certain ancestries tend to display more female-related traits. Other skeletal components utilised for sex estimation include the pelvis, which is regarded as the most accurate, along with the postcranial bones. Utilising as much material as possible will yield more accurate results. However, in many criminal cases, one is often not fortunate enough to work with complete skeletal remains. Another significant aspect of refining a search to identify unknown human remains through forensic anthropology involves recognising pathological characteristics or limitations, as explained by Professor Sue Black.
So our next job is to say, what's different about this person? What can we see within them that would allow somebody who's listening to Crime Watch or whatever the program may be that goes, oh, my father had that, my brother had that, my mother had that. It's about saying, what kind of pathological condition do they have? Had they broken a bone many years ago? Do they have dental work? Is there any evidence of surgery? Would they have walked with a limp? Did they have an abnormality of a finger? All of those things that are the anatomical individualities, if you like, of each person. It's our job to try and extract as many of those as possible from the skeleton. And that's the really difficult part.
While numerous tools exist for the identification of human remains, in this particular case, a facial reconstruction produced by experts at Liverpool John Moores University, derived from 3D imaging of the skull, enabled the police to link the remains at the warehouse to 60-year-old Ian Cootes, who had been missing for over a year. This ultimately led police to 33-year-old David Barnes, who had been carrying out renovation at Ian Cootes' property at the time he went missing. It was discovered that Mr. Barnes had assumed the identity of Ian Cootes after his death and had helped himself to more than £5,000 of his money. Following a lengthy investigation, which consisted of digital evidence, forensic geology, entomology and trace evidence, David Barnes was found guilty of Ian Cootes' death and was sentenced to 23 years in prison before being eligible for parole. While it is improbable to encounter human remains, this is not the first instance of an urban explorer stumbling upon such a scenario. In 2018, the YouTube channel Exploring with Fighters was engaged in a ghost investigation at an abandoned site in Cheshire, when a device used for spirit communication suggested the presence of a human body buried within the wall.
So this is the hole that's being dug. As you can see, it's plasterboard there. So what is behind that wall?
It's a good question. And Spirit told us it was a body, of course. I will say tonight we've come prepared properly.
Right now Andrew is live streaming. Some of you guys are probably in it. So does anyone want a shout out on video? Put it in the video right now. Does anyone want a shout out? Put your comments down. Put your comments down. Do you want a shout out? This will be included in my video. Exploring with Fighters. Leave your comments now.
During the live streaming of the event, the participants commenced the careful dismantling of the wall, ultimately creating a small opening. Following this, they proceeded to conduct an EVP session, utilising an audio recorder that allegedly allows spirits to communicate through the device, due to the subtle frequencies it is able to capture.
I want you guys to get an idea. There is a massive cavern behind there, just filled to the brim with sticks and twigs. If you're in there, try to speak as loud as you can. Yell. We just did an EVP in the hole in that wall, and I believe we caught an EVP of a spirit saying, "I'm right here." That is actually quite clear. I'm right here.
Whilst the team continues to dismantle the wall, they start to discover some strange material within. with this material being consistently removed from the wall at various intervals throughout the night.
What the hell is that? Are you filming?
Yeah.
The hell is that? Some cloth.
Don't tear it, don't tear it.
Don't
Should
tear
be
it,
a
okay.
picture. Wait, let me get a proper light on it.
I'm finding something. It's like fabric, like of a shirt or something. I don't know. You getting this?
Yeah.
Literally. Oh look, there's more. More of the fabric. You guys, we might actually be onto something here.
That's weird, I'm not gonna lie, that's weird.
That is really weird. I just found that. Set this aside here. I'm just gonna set it here for now. Let me keep digging. Holy crap.
Well, I was gonna go on my phone and check Facebook, but I'm not gonna now.
Whilst they continue to pull out unusual objects from within the wall, what they are about to discover next is truly horrifying.
Week in Italy, so yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I can't believe that's what we're going to be doing, especially, you know, after the Romania series. I didn't think anything could top that, but I think this will. What? Dude! What? Dude! You know, the roof's going to fall down.
Fuck, give me this.
What?
What?
Wait.
Don't touch that. This is now a crime scene.
What is it?
Look!
Oh shit, no, that's a bone.
What's that?
100%, 100%.
Wow.
Is that
No,
an
no,
arm?
ring the police, right? And that's it. No fun and games anymore.
What the?
Yeah, I knocked everything over. No, you have to ring the police now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
You have to, you have to take your memory cards out, because trust me, they'll take everything. You need to take your memory cards out, take everything out.
Alright.
Ring them now, Olivia.
Dude.
Just let me get one. Oh, shit. Let me get one quick look at that. 1 sec.
Just don't touch it. Don't touch it. Alright, this is a crime scene.
One look.
Is this for real right now? Is this for freaking real right now?
It's 100%. It's a massive bone. It's like something from an arm or a leg. Come on.
Olivia.
We need to go downstairs now.
Who do we call? 999?
999, yeah. Without a doubt. Let me grab my shit. Oh, f***'s sake. Wait, just turn the lights out.
I didn't. Hold on. There.
Just keep the lights on. Right, let's just get downstairs calmly, ring the police, and then that's that. They're going to turn it into a crime scene and everything, honestly. The whole place is going to be cornered off. Shit, I'm not...
Just call. Okay.
And,
Just call him.
I don't know if you meant to ring 999 when you find bones.
Thank you for calling 101. To be connected to Cheshire Police, press 1, or for West Mercia Police, press 2.
Never had to do this before.
Cheshire Police.
Hi, my name's Dan. I'm an urban explorer, and I'm currently in an abandoned property, and we think we've found human remains.
Sorry, you keep breaking up. I do apologise. You keep...
Hi, my name's Dan. I'm an urban explorer, and I'm currently in an abandoned location in Cheshire, I think it is, and we think we found human remains.
Right, okay. Whereabouts are you?
1 minute, I'll just check my map.
Okay. And you've just come across what, sorry?
Human bones. We believe to be a human bone.
A human bone.
Yeah.
Alright, so just bear with me just 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
Keep you a minute, okay. Thank you.
It's the most nerve-wracking call I've ever made.
Hi, sorry about that. Can I just take your name, please?
Yeah, it's Daniel Dixon.
Daniel Dixon. Okay. Sorry about this. It's just
It's okay.
I've never took a call like this before, so just...
Yeah, I've never made a call like this either.
I know, I bet it must be it. So can I take your date of birth, please?
Following the emergency call, the explorers immediately exit the building and wait for the police to arrive at the scene.
I lost my boyfriend. We're just waiting, one of the sergeants is on his way, so just wait for him as well.
So, what brings you
here? We do urban exploration, and we video abandoned places, and then do the paranormal investigations as well.
Yeah, go past the factory side, and then you'll see a car with it. Park down there. So, how many times have you been in the house? Right.
What do you think it's human?
Well, it just looks like it's seen on documentaries. It just looks like it's as well. Only a pass. It's here to the left in this room.
Left in that room?
Yes.
I don't think we should all be up here, to be fair. Right, you guys want to step down? Whereabouts is it there?
Just in the wall on this side here.
There's a hole, you cannot miss it.
Have a good night's sleep after that.
Could you update me if you find out what it is? Right.
Yeah, if we're allowed to, we will.
Okay.
Probably won't be tonight, but because we probably won't know anything tonight.
Right, okay.
Curiosity, innit?
Very no harm if give it like a couple of days time, ring 101, ask them, and then if they can tell you they can, if they can't, they can't.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Bye.
Once the explorers depart from the site, crime scene units examine the area and retrieve the bone for analysis by a forensic expert. The initial task is to ascertain whether the bone is of human or non-human origin by evaluating its morphological characteristics. While it is clear in this instance that the bone is a human femur, this process becomes considerably more challenging when addressing fragmented remains, particularly in mass disaster scenarios like the 9/11 attacks, where fragmented remains were intermingled with debris from the North Towers restaurant, which included remains of beef, pork and chicken bone.
Their job on the ground will be to identify these small parts, these fragments. Are they human? Are they not human? Which part of the human may they be? And they will get bagged up and then sent to the mortuary. Now, it'd be very tempting to put just a bit in each and no one would know. You can't do that because morally and ethically that's completely wrong. But in addition to that, the courts are going to say, right, we're going to exhume that bag. And if what's in that bag is not what's in your report, you're not a credible witness and we're not going to take any evidence you've given. So it's extremely important that you uphold the standards of forensic practice regardless of where you are in the world.
The next step is determining the age of the bone using radiocarbon dating to ascertain its forensic significance or whether it qualifies as an archaeological find. All these procedures, along with numerous others, would have been implemented following the specific YouTuber's discovery. However, shortly thereafter, the mystery surrounding the discovery would be unveiled.
What's up everyone, my name is Dan, this is Exploring Fighters and I am exposing everything on this video. I'm leaving no stone unturned. Everything you are going to hear on this video is completely factual, 100% real, and hopefully it leaves no questions afterwards. I do apologise to some people. This is probably going to offend some people, or some people are going to see me in a different light, and I can only apologise for that. I may lose followers after this, but it's a risk that I am willing to take. So sit back and you might want to strap your seatbelts on for this exposing.
In the video titled Exposing Everything, Dan discusses his explorations, which encompass both his earlier experiences and the initial stages of his YouTube career, including an exploration of an abandoned mansion that featured a large marquee on the grounds, which Dan refers to as the arena.
Before we got into the mansion, there was a big old, like a circus built arena. You know, it's like that kind of material, you know, you see circuses made out of, like a canopy of some sort. Massive it was. And inside there was a medical skeleton, right? You know where I'm going with this. There was a medical skeleton, a real human skeleton that had been used for medical purposes. And we were laughing about it and whatnot. And Carl decided he wanted to take one of the bones. So he picked up this femur bone and put it in his rucksack, pictured here.
Yo, you know what, it's a good thing Dave is with us and been here before, because...
So he stole this bone from this mansion, right?
After this specific exploration, Andrew, known by his YouTube name, Proving Demons, who appears in the video where the human femur was discovered, reaches out to Dan regarding a recent exploration he had just finished with another prominent ghost hunting YouTube channel, the Ouija Brothers.
And Andrew approaches me and says, you know, I was in this little house down in, you know, only a half an hour, 45 minutes from here. I did a live stream and the spirit box said there was someone on the wall, and he was with the Ouija Brothers, and he was like, yeah, you know, people were really engaged. Do you want to come along? We'll go tonight and do it again. And I was like, oh, what's in the wall? He's like, well, I don't know. He was like, but we could find something. And he was like, the Ouija Brothers are not going to be there tonight, so it'd just be us two. I was like, right, okay. So we went there, we did a live stream, it was really good. Knocking through this wall, a lot of engagement, you know, it's kind of like digging a hole. It's like people love to see what's inside it. So we finished the live stream, and then the next day we decided to do it again, or it might have been a day later, 1 or 2 days after. We decided to do it again. I think Ouija Brothers were a little bit annoyed that Andrew didn't do it with them again and then did it with me, which rightly so, I guess. You know, if they started it and then all of a sudden I jumped in and then they didn't go, I think I'd be a bit annoyed too. So before we went, Andrew had this little Santa doll thing that he bought from a charity shop. He's like, yeah, we can find this in the chimney, because it was basically a chimney we were knocking into, and there was a lot of twigs in there from like birds. And I was like, yeah, but what doesn't really make sense. He's like, yeah, but it's a Santa in the chimney, it's funny. I'm like, why don't we? I said, I've got something we can put in there and it'll be fucking crazy and it'll really get the engagement going. And he's like, what? And I walked out the room and I came back with this bone. He's like, please tell me that's not a real human. He's like, please tell me that's not a real human femur bone. I was like, that's my bad impression. He was like, yeah. So he said that, and I was like, yep, this is a real human femur bone. He's like, yeah, but we can't exactly find that and then not a body. I'm like, yeah, we can. And stupidly, I turned around, and again, you know, Andrew took a lot of stick for this. But we both took a lot of stick for it. But realistically, none of it was actually Andrew's fault. I was the one who was like, yeah, let's stick this bone in the wall, and you know what? I'm gonna ring the police. Don't ask why. I thought that was a fantastic idea, but it happened. We filmed the live stream, and I filmed an actual video as well because I had my camera running too. We found the bone in the wall. I rang the police. The police turned up and sealed the place off. Now, obviously, I told Carl that I'd used this bone, his bone, for this video, but he went running and told the Ouija Brothers that we'd put a bone in the wall. So then, I don't know who it was, I don't know if it was Ouija Brothers or if it was Carl. One of them went to the police and said, it's a hoax. The bone was put in there by them, and it was taken from such a mansion. So 2 days later, the video started blowing up online. 2 days later, I get a phone call from Andrew, and he's panicking. He's like, dude, there's police at my door. There's police at my door. I'm like, then why are you ringing me? Answer it. So he put the phone down. And then I got a phone call from Andrew's phone. And I answer it. And it's like, hi, I'm Detective such a person with the Cheshire Police. I was like, okay. And he went, we're at your friend's house, Andrew's house. I was like, yep. And he was like, he's fessed up and told us everything. I went, oh. And he went, listen, tell me now, and obviously there'll be no further charges. We'll just drop it. I just want to know where that bone's come from, because obviously it's a real human bone. We've had it tested. It's a real human bone. I said, okay, the bone came from this mansion. Inside the tent, there is a remainder of the medical skeleton, because obviously they didn't know if it was medical skeleton or if it was a real human, that we dug up or what. So they had someone go out and find the rest of that skeleton, and they found it in that mansion. Anyway, they come off the phone to me. He was like, right, okay, thank you. No further action will be taken. Have a good day. So I get a phone call back from Andrew, and he's like, dude, why the fuck did you tell them? I'm like, bro, they just told me you fessed up, so I had to tell him. He's like, I didn't tell him shit. And I was like, oh, we've just been had. So he just did what a detective does, and he tricked me into thinking Andrew fessed up when he didn't. So basically I told him everything.
Following this, the story was featured in local newspapers, leading to all parties involved in the scandal receiving backlash on online platforms.
It was a bad point. It was a horrible point. I remember waking up. Well, I didn't really sleep much. I'd wake up every hour, go onto my Facebook and stuff, delete stuff, because obviously Ouija Board Brothers were constantly posting and live streaming about it. You had all these other people crawling out of the woodwork talking about it. You had some guy I worked with a couple of times who got stuck on a fence called Taser. He was trying to leech views off it, doing podcasts. There was all kinds going on. I lost friends because of it, because they didn't want to be associated with it, and it was a tough time. And back then, if I could have reversed time, I would have. But it definitely grew me as a person. It made me realise there's no true loyalty in YouTube. You could work with people and you think they're friends, but the moment something like that happens, they're quick to turn on you. They really are. But now, 6 years later, you've probably seen odd jokes about it. Like with the catacombs. When I went in the catacombs and you had finders beepers, they went on to make a joke out of the bones, and I've mentioned it a few times, but I've never really truly spoken about it, and I wanted to expose everything. I wanted to really make this video and show people where I've come from, and ultimately the message of this whole video is that it's never too late to change.
While we do not endorse the actions of exploring with fighters, he has managed to honestly discuss his experiences, learning from them and teaching others to avoid repeating his mistakes. Exploring with Fighters remains a leading exploration channel that produces exceptionally high-quality content and has successfully recovered from past animosities while steering clear of controversial topics. While this story differs from those we have previously discussed on this channel, we strive to maintain a unique approach by delivering distinctive content which is infused with our own personal style. If you appreciate this type of content and our presentation style, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, activate post notifications, and give us a like. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next time.